um, and this dude, Jeranism, who's a YouTuber, that has debunked the flat Earth multiple times on his own, trying to prove that the Earth is flat, is now demanding that the documentary crew apologizes to him for misrepresenting him. Been pretty entertaining, actually. And oh, hey everybody! Welcome to Let's Just Saints of Discord, your one and only pre-show to the YouTube Saints, coming at you every Friday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm your host,
Also,
Jables.
periodically,
Joined by Rimshee.
also periodically, when Jables gets a wild hair up his ass.
Well, yeah, I might start doing more of those. Honestly, I might start doing those like once a month when there's something that I really want to talk about. Just do a Google Hangout.
Or maybe more often if you find something that is truly interesting to you.
Yeah. Sometimes I want to talk about things that we don't want to talk about on the show.
Yeah.
So.
It's all good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So.
Discord news.
I believe next weekend we have the town hall for March. Screwed up on February, but we might be making it a bi-monthly thing or even a quarterly thing going forward. That's something potentially being discussed. But yeah, we will be having our town hall next week. Jables remind me on Sunday to actually post that in server announcements in case I forget.
You're asking the wrong person to remind you to do something.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're so full of pot that there's no way you're gonna remember anything.
I don't really smoke pot anymore.
Got it, Coke. Anyway.
Oh, hey, no.
Anyway.
God damn it.
Moving forward, there's beyond the town hall. There's not much in terms of server news. I mean, the After Saint show channel has returned briefly, both text and voice. I don't know if it's here to stay, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I think that's everything for the server.
I'm working on planning a movie night for everybody. So, let me know any movies you want to watch, and I'll try to announce some things. The worse, the better.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's just jump into the news. I guess. Let's just jump into it.
Yeah, let's just jump into it.
Yeah. That's all I think about. God damn it, Philly D. Alright. Church leader mauled by lion after trying to prove God would intervene. Oh, damn. A Christian church leader tried to prove that the Lord would step forward and come to his rescue and save him recently when he went up against a lion. Things did not go as planned, and the church leader had his buttocks and arm mauled by the lion when he ran towards the pride to try to prove that the Lord had power over animals in the wild.
Oh, I'm sure the Lord does if the Lord exists, but that just means that this was God's will, if he exists. God,
yeah, you know it's gonna be twisted.
Mauled.
You know, like G-Man would say, well, this man wasn't a true Christian. Which, by the way, for the audience, that's called a no true Scotsman fallacy.
Yes.
Yeah. Zion Christian Church prophet, debatable, Alec Dwayne, was viciously attacked by the lion during a safari trip. The man wanted to prove to the church members with him that God would save him. The man went into a trance and began to speak in many different languages, probably gobbledygook, and then started to run towards the pride of lions that were eating an impala in the Kruger National Park in South Africa. How are they eating a car?
I don't know.
Never mind. The man started approaching the pack very quickly, and of course they wanted to protect their kill, or they saw him as prey. As the man charged up to them, the pride grouped up on him and attacked. The lions chased him before one of them bit down on his buttocks, and Dwayne said that he did not have any idea about what came over him, but said that humans were given dominion over all of Earth's creatures. Apparently not. Park officials made a statement and said that they had not been made aware of the incident and was said to have taken place. Yeah.
I swear to God, Jables.
It's not my fault. I fixed a few typos while reading, okay? Give me that one.
Yeah, he probably should have listened to the driver, Jesus.
Yeah. Jesus, take the wheel.
Thank you, Yekno. You know, I had the wrong mic pulled up or activated for this one, so I just switched over.
Ah, okay.
So that explains why people probably thought it was quiet, like Fran Man. Fully understandable.
Yep. Alright. The man realized the Lord was not going to save him, tried running away. When Dwayne realized that the Lord was not going to help him out, he began to run back to the car. However, it was not long before one of the lions caught up with him and bit into his buttock. It was said that he only managed to get away thanks to a game range firing shots toward the lions to make them run away.
Do they mean a game ranger?
It says game range.
Yeah. That doesn't make sense. They're fucking idiots.
We've been over this multiple times. There's two things that internet sites don't have. It's editors and good IT people to make a functioning website.
Yeah. Copy editors and fucking IT people. You know, this is the same shit Tim Pool complains about. Fucking copy editors.
It's one simple job. That's it. This is even a short article. It wouldn't take that long. I understand for like super long CNN articles because CNN drags those articles out. Oh my god. But for a short article like this, should not be nearly as many typos. Let's see.
First comment. Ha 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 ha! There is no God.
Oh. Okay. Dwayne said he thought that the Lord wanted him to show how powerful the Lord was over animals. Dwayne rushed to a hospital close by and had to undergo emergency surgery to stitch his wounds up. He was well enough to be discharged later on that same day. Kruger National Park spokesman said that park officials had not been made aware of the situation that was said to have taken place in the park with the lions. He went on to state that if a ranger had been involved and had shot toward the lions as suggested, he would have reported the incident. So this entire story might be bullshit. Or it's a cover-up.
Well, here's the thing. A dumbass got bit and went to the hospital. That is a fact.
Yes.
The fact that it happened on a range with park rangers, or in a national park with park rangers nearby, may be total bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? This is going to be spun as like the ranger was actually, since it wasn't reported, it was actually Jeebus that was the ranger that fired shots toward the lions and made them run away. And then he disappeared. I know that spin is going to fucking happen.
Oh, there are going to be some people who say that shit.
Yeah. Bound to fucking happen.
The same people who probably say stop killing volcanoes to make lava lamps.
At least the pride got the ass. Yeah.
Oh, stupidity is a man's plaything.
So even if you are religious, a lot of things that Christians go by is God still gave you free will, and that's free will to be a dumbass. So try not to be a dumbass, and treat your body like a temple like the Bible says. And don't run into a pride of lions. Fair?
Yeah, makes sense.
Did I cover my bases?
Yeah.
Did I become... Yeah, not going to be full anti-theist on this one.
No, I'm not going to be an anti-theist. I'm just... It is what it is. Yeah. And this guy's a dumbass.
And if you think God has a plan for you, maybe his plan is for you to grow and do what this does.
Well, Mr. Roboto.
Didn't mean to. Just trying to segue.
Man plans to live out Golden Age at Holiday Inn instead of retirement home. A man on the brink of retirement found an alternative way to live out his golden years by spending them in a Holiday Inn rather than a retirement home. Spring, Texas, resident Terry Robinson, 64, worked out a detailed comparison between the two options, and the mid-priced hotel chain appears to win out by a landslide. Robinson wrote on Facebook that the average cost of a nursing home care is about $188 per day. A long-term stay with a senior discount at Holiday Inn, on the other hand, is $59.23 per day. That leaves $128.77 a day for lunch and dinner in any restaurant we want, or room service, laundry, gratuities, and special TV movies. Yeah, we know all those special TV movies. Ooh. He wrote.
Special TV movies.
Yeah! Plus, they provide a spa, swimming pool, a workout room, and a lounge, and washer, dryer, etc. The benefits of Holiday Inn, Robinson added, also include free toothpaste, razors, shampoo, and soap. An additional $5 a day in tips will have the entire staff scrambling to help you as well, he wrote. I kind of doubt that one. I think he's living a little bit in the past. It'll probably take about $10.
Yeah. 15 to 20, though?
Oh, God, yeah, you're king. They treat you like a customer, not a patient, he said. Holiday Inn also provides a spa, swimming pool, gym, lounge, and washer-dryers. But the amenities don't stop there. The location where Robinson checked out the reservations has a city bus stop right in front, where seniors can ride for free. Jeez.
Damn.
In addition...
I like this dude.
This guy put thought into this. In addition, guests can take the airport shuttle bus to eat at one of the restaurants at the local airport for a change of scenery, he wrote. From there, they can take a flight to another Holiday Inn as well, he mused. You're not stuck in one place forever. You can move from in, or even from in to in, fucking copy editors again, or even from city to city, he wrote. The competition to find a comfortable room isn't as steep either. Robinson wrote, it takes months to get into decent nursing homes, he wrote. Holiday Inn will take your reservation today. And the maintenance is virtually non-existent, Robinson figured. TV broken? Light bulb need changing? Need a mattress replaced? No problem, Robinson wrote. They fix everything and apologize for the inconvenience. Robinson did not mention that, what kind of health he is in, but said staff like a security guard or maid could check to see if he is okay, as well as call an ambulance or an undertaker, whichever's needed. If you fall and break a hip, Medicare will pay for the hip, and Holiday Inn will upgrade you to a suite for the rest of your life, he wrote. adding that he'd face his golden age with a grin. A representative for the Intercontinental Hotel Group, which Holiday Inn is a subsidiary of, did not immediately respond to ABC News' request for comment. I see! This actually doesn't sound half bad.
Yeah.
If we start seeing the elderly going to hotels instead of retirement homes, that maybe retirement homes will actually improve. I mean, there will always be your intense care nursing homes for people that have memory issues or more serious health conditions, and that would make sense. But maybe this is the start in the right direction. I hope this picks up if it's actually something that works out well.
Yeah. Well,
God damn, Mr. Roboto. You're just having issues today.
I'll try to fix it. My connection was good just a second.
And it was good for a second there, too. Are you still there, or are you just having that many issues?
I'm still here. I don't know what's going on. That should be better now.
Hopefully it is. Hopefully it stays that way more accurately. Yeah, you're not roboting.
Sweet. Okay. I don't know if you're sarcastic.
No, I'm serious in this case. I'm dead serious. So serial. You had something you wanted to say?
Oh, some guy's asking if we're sub to PewDiePie, of course.
What? Who do you think we are? T-Series fans? Fuck that.
Yeah. Corporate takeover of YouTube? No.
Fuck that. We're subbed individually, and the channel is subbed.
Yeah, plus I have another account that's subbed, too.
I'm not going to get into how many accounts I have.
I'm only mentioning one of them.
But are you really trying to be that kind of detective investigator, dude? Really?
Me?
No.
Huh?
Dude trying to make sure we're subbed to PewDiePie. No shit.
Yeah, are you trying to be some sort of detective? You know, one thing you can get fired for being a detective is, detective
so
fixing the sack for farting on duty and repeatedly saying cunt.
This is so forced. It's so bad.
It works.
It does.
Whatever. Oh, and Mom, if you're watching, you might want to turn this off now, because I'm going to say the word cunt a lot.
You're not Australian.
Doesn't matter. Cunt's making a comeback.
Oh, yeah.
A detective who would break wind and use strong language around the police station could lose her job. DC Claire Fitzpatrick, 44, is accused of repeatedly using the word cunt and breaking wind in front of other officers. In a bid to... Wait, you know, to be fair, they do censor out the two middle letters. It could be clit. You know, I'm going to read this as her saying clit.
I can already see that that's incorrect. But let's go with it.
Yeah. In a bid to prevent herself being fired, she said that the behavior... How could you see that it's incorrect?
Oh, keep reading.
Okay. In a bid to prevent herself from being fired, she said that the behavior was part of a culture of banter at her village police station in Bedwest, South Wales. She is accused of farting outside her sergeant's office, telling a suspect, "You're driving like a clit," asking a junior colleague if he wanted an affair with a fatter, ugly, older woman, asking another colleague in a busy station for thrush cream.
What the hell is
I don't know
thrush cream?
I have no idea.
Google!
While I read.
I'll look it up.
She said that swearing was just the nature of the place and that clit had replaced fuck as her word of choice. Well, it could be fick. You need to censor better. I don't feel comfortable saying clit this many times. I'm going to go back to cunt. DC Fitzpatrick admitted breaking wind outside the sergeant's office, but insisted that it wasn't deliberate. She said, I wouldn't joke about it. Sometimes I would speak like the character Borat, or use a silly voice to say, rather out than in.
Got it. Thrush is an infection of the mouth caused by Candida fungus, also known as yeast. Ah, it's a yeast infection.
From eating all that puss.
Yeah, we'll go
it's
with
a yeast
that.
infection in the mouth. Ugh. Okay. Need some jelly juice to get rid of that. Speaking about the junior colleague she propositioned, she said, I met the officer a couple of months before. There was a bit of banter. I don't know how the conversation started, but we started speaking about whether he had a girlfriend or children. I said, well, if you ever fancy an affair with a fatter, ugly, older woman who wears glasses, I have a number. Okay. You know what? Just because of the massive balls that she has to just run around saying cunt and farting in front of the sergeant's office, I toss her one. He said,
I don't know. Those
thank
older
you.
ladies know how it's done, so you might be in for a life-altering experience.
He said, no thank you, in response. I pretended to throw up in my mouth, and he moved away to sit down. I thought instantly that I had said the wrong thing at the wrong time. I went over to him, put my hand on his shoulder, and said that I didn't mean it, that he didn't need to know, that he didn't know my sense of humor, and that I was sorry. He kind of acknowledged that. He knew I wasn't serious. Speaking about the subject she called a cunt,
Suspect.
she said, the officer, that's suspect. The officer with me said, Sergeant, you can't say that to him. I took a deep breath with my head in my hands and said, I'm sorry to the driver. The driver also apologized for his driving and his manner towards us. Speaking about the thrush incident, she said, I wasn't suffering from thrush at the time, so I wasn't asking for some I wasn't asking her for some, literally. It was just another example of stupid, inappropriate things being said. She denies using bullying or inappropriate behavior, and the hearing continues.
Like, this is the chick. I think this is the better picture of her. The second of the two. But, like, not what I expected.
She's in Wales. She might be Scottish.
Yeah, who
no,
knows?
Fitzpatrick, she's Irish. Or Scottish. Or Irish.
Yeah,
Whatever.
but it depends. That doesn't mean that that's where she grew up.
You're right. But the UK is like the size of one of our states, so I don't think that matters. Alright.
Jeez, I just read the next article. Or at least the headline of the next article. Like, if you think this one's bad, just what... Let's go on the cop suspension bullshit, because, what the hell? This is just a video.
Oh, it's just a video?
Yeah, cop suspended after letting a suspect perform sex acts in his car. What the hell? Let's play a
Body
little
camera
bit
footage.
of this. It's in a Walmart.
Track her down.
When I say swollen, it's like beyond swollen.
I
He
just
eventually
realized.
finds her outside.
Alright, so you're good. You don't need me for any purposes. Alright, you can imagine why I'm asking.
Yeah.
Crab,
But she said
I know
she
I
didn't
can't just
need
go
help,
to
and
Ireland
he
and call
cleared the
someone
call.
a brat.
10 minutes
I'm
later,
fully aware
McNeil
of
said
that.
he was
Not
investigating a
something I
theft
would
in
do.
progress with the same girl
Like,
and another man on crutches who was trespassed from the store the day before. But he doesn't turn on his body camera.
I'm just
Instead, he
saying,
watches them on surveillance, but turns the
it's a
camera
small
on
country.
almost an hour and a half later, when they
Doesn't
ultimately
really matter
arrest
where
the
they
two and
grew
said
up.
they recovered stolen jewelry and a baby toy. His body camera, now rolling, shows him allowing them to smoke together before getting into the patrol car, and a man transported without handcuffs, violating policy. While in the back seat, unrestrained, the two are captured cuddling, kissing, and eventually performing sex acts on each other while the officer plays music and writes reports.
Yeah, I can't see what's going on in the video right now.
So,
Because apparently that's what was slowing me down and making me a robot.
So, what this is, what happened, and oh fuck you, restricted. I don't know who that is. Leave a message. So what happened is he did a bunch of stupid stuff, and like letting two suspects smoke together and transporting them not handcuffed, or at least the dude not handcuffed. And while he's driving back to the station, they start cuddling, then they start kissing, then they start performing sex acts.
Okay.
Anyway, that one was a bust. But this one should be interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of people getting arrested. Two arrested in Alabama buffet brawl over crab legs.
Joy.
Yep. Take a look at that picture. Enjoy it. Alabama police say a dispute over crab legs at a dinner buffet ended in a brawl that left two people facing misdemeanor charges. Huntsville police officer Gerald Johnson says he was eating at the Meteor Buffet restaurant when a fight broke out. Johnson tells WHNT-TV that diners were using service tongs like fencing swords. Diners were using service tongs like fencing swords, and plates were shattering, and a woman was beating a man. Johnson says diners had been waiting in line for crab legs for more than 10 minutes, and they lost their tempers once the food came out. Holy shit. The station reports Chiquita Jenkins is charged with assaulting John Chapman, who suffered a cut on his head. Chapman is charged with disorderly conduct. Court records aren't available to show whether either person has a lawyer. Okay.
Okay, let's take a look at this picture, and let's try and figure out who you think won the fight. I don't know. I think John has a little smirk on his face. Yeah, maybe here, but I beat her ass.
No, I think his smirk is like, whatever, I'm old as fuck. Disorderly conduct, I just wanted some crab legs. Fuck it. I'll spend a night in jail. Nobody's gonna bug me. I'm old as fuck.
They're either gonna bug him completely or leave him alone.
Yeah.
Okay, I just saw something on the side. Space Force would be by far the smallest military service. No shit.
Wait. Crab, that's cannibalism, isn't it?
Only sometimes. Only sometimes.
I prefer the claws anyway, of the legs. Get some of that good claw meat.
Well, now we've gotten through a lot of this stuff. We've gotten through...
Let's do our usual stuff.
Yep, back to science. This next one is actually quite interesting. This next one we found out because... Does anyone remember Chris Swarsky from of the Warsky brothers, or whatever the fuck they called themselves?
Yeah.
Well, we
Doesn't
found
matter.
We found out
Because
about
Chris
this
Warsky,
one.
Chris Warsky is dead.
Long live Chris Cortex.
However,
Yeah.
is doing science videos along the same line that we cover during these live streams.
Absolutely.
So,
fucking awesome, too.
Harass the shit out of him. We want him on the show. So, well, don't harass him, but tweet at him.
Repeatedly. Ad nauseum.
Because we want him on the show. And be sure to tag us in the tweets, too, so that he knows who to contact.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Also, let's see, where
It'd
is...
be much appreciated, guys. Because I liked him better than Andy.
Oh god, who didn't? But, real quick, I'm gonna put this on screen. His YouTube channel, so there you have the stuff.
No.
He does good stuff. And now...
I'll do it. Should I link his channel in the...
Oh yeah, you should.
Description?
Because he's the reason we found out about this one. And yeah, those are interesting articles.
He only has like 200, so he's not abusing his connections to get more subscribers like I am.
You are abusing the shit out of it. He's still got more than we do, though, so, you know, there's that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, naturally, he has like 16,000 Twitter followers, too.
Yeah, he's got a good 50 more than us. He did, but his shit's worth it. Anyway, let's get on to this article.
By the way, guys, I still want to get up to 200 subscribers by my birthday. Time's cut short. Still not telling you when my birthday is, but...
Well, let's get on to the article. Scientists develop liquid fuel that can store the sun's energy for up to 18 years. This is actually really cool. This is the one... This is his most recent video. We're gonna read through this article, but, like... Listen to him. He's got a interesting take on stuff, and it's cool. No matter how abundant or renewable solar power has a thorn in its side. There is still no cheap and efficient long-term storage for the energy that it generates. The solar industry has been snagged on this branch for a while, but in the past year alone, a series of 4 papers has ushered in an intriguing new solution. Scientists in Sweden have developed a specialized fluid called a solar thermal fuel that can store energy from the sun for well over a decade. A solar thermal fuel is like a rechargeable battery, but instead of electricity, you put sunlight in and get heat out. Triggered on demand. Jeffrey Gossman, an engineer working with these materials at MIT, explained to NBC News. The fluid is actually a molecule in liquid form that scientists from Chalmers University of Technology, Sweden, have been working on improving for over a year. This molecule is composed of carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen, and when it is hit by sunlight, it does something unusual. The bonds between its atoms are rearranged and it turns into an energized new version of itself, called an isomer. Like prey caught in a trap, energy from the sun is thus captured between the isomers' strong chemical bonds, and it stays there even when the molecule cools down to room temperature. When the energy is needed, say at nighttime or during the winter, the fluid is simply drawn through a catalyst that returns the molecule into its original form, releasing energy in the form of heat. The energy in this isomer can now be stored for up to 18 years, says one of the team nanomaterial scientist Casper Moth-Poulsen from... That is one hell of an interesting name. Casper Moth-Poulsen. Anyway, he's from Chalmers University. And when it comes to an extract the energy and use it, we get a warmth increase which is greater than we dared hope for. A prototype of the energy system placed on the roof of a university building has put the new fluid to the test, and according to the researchers, the results have caught the attention of numerous investors.
Whatever that means.
It means what it means.
But I want to go back to this guy's name, Casper Moth-Poulsen.
Oh! Happy birthday, Biotech Babe.
Oh, happy birthday.
Good shit, good shit. You were saying?
Casper Moth-Poulsen. Do you think he's a ghost moth person?
You know...
Never mind.
I think you fucked up. No, this is really cool. The system works. The renewable emission-free energy device is made up of a concave reflector. I'll scroll up so we can look at this. A concave reflector with a pipe in the center, which tracks the sun like a sort of satellite dish. The system works in a circular manner, pumping through transparent tubes. The fluid is heated up by the sun, turning the molecular norbornadine into its heat-trapping isomer, quadricyclane. The fluid... Science words, people! Science words! The fluid is then stored at room temperature with minimal energy loss. Honestly, this is really cool.
Hopefully this doesn't turn into another solar freaking roadways.
Well, the difference is that this is scientific papers, not some inventor trying to make solar freaking roadways a thing.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I didn't donate to solar freaking roadways. I was really close.
Me too.
But I'm glad I did not. But yeah, this is honestly really cool. Because, I mean, they used to use a similar method for, they would use it to heat up water, but they would use these concave mirrors the same way that they're doing here, and they'd be focused on a pipe that would heat the water inside. And I guess it was for a steam engine of sorts or something like that.
Well, this is, kind of how nuclear reactors work.
Kinda, but not exactly.
But yeah, but the energy is... Well... Never mind.
And no, Crab, it's not like a solar gasoline. No, I guess it could function in a similar manner.
Yeah.
The difference is that when you go to fill up, you'd attach the fuel nozzle, and then you'd attach a drain unit, and they'd have two tanks, one for spent and one for new. Assuming that they could figure this one out, but that's really cool.
Yeah. Do that with the double nozzle system. Potentially. Alright.
But, I mean, ultimately, this is use of a previously existing technology. They're just adding a new fluid that flows through it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's...
Yeah.
Fuck, this is really cool. When the energy is needed, the fluid is filtered through a special catalyst that converts the molecules back into their original form, warming the liquid by 63 degrees Celsius or 113 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay then. The hope is that this warmth can be used for domestic heating systems, powering a building's water heater, dishwasher, clothes dryer, and much more before heading back to the roof once again. The researchers have put the fluid through this cycle more than 125 times, picking up heat and dropping it off without significant damage to the molecule. We have made many crucial advances recently, and today we have an emissions-free energy system which works all year round, said Moth Paulson. After a series of rapid developments, the researchers claim their fluid can now hold 250 watt-hours of energy per kilogram, which is double the energy capacity of Tesla Powerwall batteries, according to the NBC. But there's still plenty of room for improvement. With the right manipulations, the researchers think they can get even more heat out of this system, at least 110 degrees Celsius or 230 degrees Fahrenheit more. There is a lot left to do. We have just got the system to work. Now we need to ensure everything is optimally designed, says Moth Paulson. If all goes as planned, Moth Paulson thinks the technology could be available for commercial use within 10 years. The most recent study in the series has been published in Energy and Environmental Science. Honestly, this is really cool. Right now, it's definitely not a solar gasoline. Definitely not. However, if we can...
It's generating energy through heat.
Yeah,
it's a very specific thing.
Some smart asshole could come up with a way of turning this into a replacement for gasoline.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like they said, this could be...
It depends on how much energy you could get. Could you get enough energy to run a car? That's really all it comes down to.
Yeah. Ants K. With investors, the group working on this stuff will turn it into a company. A group at a university near me is working on a honeycomb type to store sun's power.
Yeah.
Interesting. But
I think we've talked about that.
I don't know that we have. But it's all what it is. But this is... I mean, what they mentioned is it could be used to heat water in the house. That is really cool.
Yeah. It's handy in places that get sun.
I mean...
That's the other issue.
Think about Canada, too. Given the fact that it can store for up to 18 years, you just have an above average... you just have more than you need. And, hell, it's just absorbing sun. It's not necessarily taking the heat. It's being hit by the sun that does this. And I could be wrong on that. It could be partially the heat. But you could theoretically still use this in winter, and you maybe just store some extra. That way, you can deal with whatever's left over. This is... Honestly, this one's really cool.
Yay.
Heating up water, and like, we didn't know what we would use gasoline for until we started using it. It used to be a byproduct of kerosene. Now kerosene's the byproduct of fucking gasoline.
Yeah.
So...
Good old kerosene.
I mean, it used to be that kerosene, we used that for lighting lamps and stuff. And we didn't have a use for gasoline, really, until we came up with some stuff like the engine. So
the internal combustion engine.
Yeah, this could theoretically be used to power a steam engine within a vehicle. The only issue I see there is cooling the water back down, but that could be potentially easy. And, we may come up with a completely different method compared to steam for powering a mobile vehicle with one of these. It would guarantee you it would start with trains. Trains would be the first thing.
I was gonna say the same thing, especially since we're trying to build higher speed trains across the country.
Well, the big thing is that you can build a larger engine for that. You don't have to worry about fitting an engine into a car.
Yeah. Trains, you can do whatever the fuck you want with trains.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of fucking room. Big ass generators too. You can use this theoretically to power a vehicle. It's not gonna be the same type of engine. Hell, it could theoretically. I mean, it would be an engine of sorts. It'd be some sort of motor. But it's not. If this is used to power mobile vehicles, it's the engine system or the motor system that we see it used in is going to be completely different. And
I wonder what Elon Musk thinks about this.
What Y2K? We're talking about something that you don't create any sort of emissions, and you can literally reuse it constantly. Like, you use it to, a closed loop of sorts, or potentially can.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that in the case of a car you'd be able to use a closed loop.
This is virtually infinite energy.
I mean, the only issue is over time the molecules will degrade. Let's see.
No,
the researchers have put the fluid through this cycle more than 125 times, picking up heat and dropping it off without significant damage to the molecule. So there is damage to the molecule, but this is something that can be used repeatedly. And when you run out of functional molecule, you just replace it.
Yeah.
Or you rework it, or something along those lines. There's something that they can do to fix it, I'm sure. Or there will be.
Yeah, well, they mentioned about potentially in the future they could tweak the molecule and come up with something else. But this is a huge leap for future energy.
Y2K, don't feel too bad. You missed the half of the show that was just weird shit. But to recap real quick, old Chris Worski is now Chris Cortex. He's the reason we know about this article. There's his...
snooping on his new YouTube channel.
Honestly, promoting him, I like his stuff. I have notifications for him.
Yeah, he's just been covering news articles like you and I have, so that's why I think he'd be fun to have on the show.
Yeah, and there's no way it would go fusion or fission because it's neither of those things. It's just a liquid battery of sorts.
Yeah, it's not nuclear. It's just it's literally heat run. It's practically it's a futuristic steam engine practically.
Potentially, or something completely different that we don't even think of today.
Yeah, I'm just putting it real simple.
Yeah. Based on what we know, this could function as a steam engine, yes.
Similar, yeah. Using heat to power things. It's interesting to see how all this information is going to be preserved for the future.
Yeah, I mean, we've got so much here that who knows what's going to happen. And if we go through a human crisis, what... Yeah. I mean, they've got... At current, we have big old ass vaults in like the Netherlands or something for storing seeds and genetic material. Mm-hmm. Well, there is now another step towards preserving knowledge.
Yes, a 30 million page library is heading to the moon to help preserve human civilization. Don't know how that's gonna help. Nobody lives on the moon. But we'll see. Massive archive is aboard Israel's Bereshit aircraft. Oh, by the way, I chose this one specifically because Israel launched a spacecraft, and there's been a bunch of news about that, so I figured we'd just do this and tie it all in. There's a space race going on. Wait, I'll save that for later. When Israel's Bereshit spacecraft launched toward the moon last week, it was carrying a mysterious cargo. Mission planners called it a time capsule, but hinted that that wasn't the whole story. Now the truth is out. The little lunar probe carries a 30 million page archive of human knowledge etched into a DVD-sized metal disc. The Lunar Library, as the archive is known, constitutes a civilization backup to help ensure that our distant descendants never lose humanity's collective wisdom, according to Nova Spivak, co-founder of Arc Mission Foundation, the Los Angeles-based nonprofit behind the project. The foundation is building space-based archive designed to survive for 6 billion years or more. 1 million times longer than the oldest written records in existence today. Nice.
You know, this is actually interesting because you know how there's technology that existed in what we consider ancient times that we have no idea how they made it or how it worked or anything like that? Mm-hmm. Imagine our descendants in the far-off future, somehow still alive despite all the odds. And they're like, we don't understand how they made cell phones. That old copper electrical technology is so ancient, we don't understand how it works. And they find this time capsule.
Are you talking about, like, the Jerusalem batteries and shit like that?
Yeah, those, Greek fire, other such things. Like, Roman concrete.
Okay, yeah. One of the primary evolutionary challenges that we face is amnesia about our past mistakes and the lack of active countermeasures to repeating them. Spivak said in an email, "For the survival of our species, we need to find ways to raise our awareness of what worked and what didn't work, and we need to ensure it is shared with the people of the future." Nice. Solar steam. Okay. Paul Davies, director of Beyond Center for Fundamental Concepts and Physics at
on Windows.
Yeah. At Arizona State University, regards the Lunar Library as mostly symbolic, yet still important. It encourages people to reflect on humankind's place in the universe, he said, and to rethink how we search for evidence of non-human civilizations, too. If we can leave records on the moon for a huge duration, maybe E.T. will have done the same, Davies said, adding that it might make sense for humans to look for alien artifacts on the moon or other locations. Pretty sure that's what they're doing on Mars. The world in a disk. Sending the library into space isn't entirely new for the Arch Foundation. Before Elon Musk launched a Tesla Roadster into orbit around the sun last year, Spivak and his team put in its glove box a quartz disc containing the entire text of Asimov's famous Foundation trilogy of science fiction books, a major influence on Spivak's thinking. For the Lunar Library, the scope had to be far wider. We are building a Rosetta Stone for beings who inhabit our solar system in the future, Spivak said. One small component of the archive is the time capsule Bereshit's creators alluded to, a collection of songs, children's drawings, and writings about Israeli culture and history. Moon Jews.
I'll keep it safe. The lunar kin will keep
Pinkies
the
up.
Israeli kin in safety.
Yeah, pinkies up. But the rest is truly encyclopedic, including the Lunar Library's more than 200 gigabytes of data are the entire English language version of Wikipedia. Holy shit.
That was a mistake.
Depending on when they did that, that might say that I own Gibson guitars. And I go through and say that I own all sorts of companies on Wikipedia sometimes. Tens of thousands of fiction and non-fiction books, a collection of textbooks, and a guide to 5,000 languages, along with 1.5 billion sample translations between them. Nice. All of that information is etched onto a 25 stacked onto 25 stacked nickel discs, each just 40 microns, about 1/600th of an inch.
Yours says 25.
Oh, sorry.
Mine says
just 40 microns.
All of that information is etched onto 21 nickel discs, each just 40 microns.
Are we looking at the same article?
It's been the same so far.
Yeah, mine says 25.
Onto 25. Oh, mine says 21. That's weird.
I'm going to refresh in a little bit and see what happens.
Yeah.
About 1/600th of an inch thick. Since people of the far future will presumably not have a DVD player handy and might not speak any language now in use, the top of the Lunar Library's disc is engraved with tiny images of books and other documents explaining human linguistics, along with instructions about how to read the library beneath. The introductory layers can easily be viewed when magnified 100 times under a simple microscope. Then it's up to our crafty descendants to build the players so they can read the rest of the library. Okay, that's interesting. Built to last almost forever. All of that content will mean nothing if the physical object doesn't survive. So the Arch Foundation helped develop a super durable data recording technology called a nanofiche for the Lunar Library Disk. It can withstand sustained heat that is 10 times greater than what is experienced on the Moon with no damage to the data, Spivak said of the disk, which is made of nickel because of its extreme durability and modest cost. The Lunar Library is shielded by a protective layer and insulation, as well as the structure of the bare sheet lander itself. All of that should help safeguard it from micrometeorites that strike the Moon on a regular basis. Even so, it may not have anything like the 6 billion year lifetime that Spivak is targeting. These objects will not survive for 1 billion years undegraded, but they might be intact and unburied after 10 million years, maybe 50 million years, Davey said. That's more than enough time. That's... like... that's fine. Okay. Oh, article's still going. Holy shit.
Yeah, it goes on for a while.
Oh,
It's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more paragraphs.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. Spivak acknowledged as much, but pointed out that the Lunar Library is just one component of an even more audacious project called the Billion Year Archive, an effort that should live up to its name. The disk in the spacefaring Tesla is a test run of that archive, as is a prototype Arch Library launched into Earth's orbit last October. Many more collections are yet to come, each replicating the content of the Lunar Library. Does this sound like the beginning of a video game to you?
It does a little bit.
Our ancestors launched the archives of old.
And Crab's got, what if there's an apocalypse and humanity is set back to the Stone Age? First off, we won't be set back to the Stone Age, because there are people out there who know how to forge.
Yeah. At best, we'll be set back to Bronze Age.
And that's if the right people are killed.
Yeah. And I mean...
But
we'll be fine.
I mean, there will be enough there that we should be able to figure it out. Yeah, we'll lose plenty of technologies. But we won't be...
We'll still be dealing with metals.
Yeah. And no one knows how to flint nap anymore. So, to go back any further than dealing with metals, we'd be fucked.
Yeah. Alright, Hold on. Okay, we want the archive to last longer than the Moon itself, he said. If we place enough copies in enough places, some will make it to the distant future, no matter what happens on Earth, the Moon, Mars, or any other location.
That's a smart move.
Yeah, but this sounds like a video game. You must collect all of the pieces of human history in order to advance.
We found this archive on Earth. We found it in Africa, but it seems damaged. However, apparently it states that there is other copies on the Moon and on Mars. We must go there and see what we can find, and each one just happens to have the right section that we don't have yet.
Yep.
But not all of what we don't have yet. You need to collect all 12.
Yeah. No, they're gonna make you collect 25 of them. The beginnings of far-flung space library Spivak... of the far-flung space library, Spivak and Visions are already out there. Of course, starting with the Cosmic Maps aboard NASA's Pioneer 10 and 11 spacecraft and the golden record affixed to the Voyager probes in the 1970s, Spivak's goal is to flood the solar system with other versions of the Lunar Library. In caves and mountains on Earth, on other locations on the Moon, on Mars, and in deep space. I'm fucking telling you. The bare sheet craft recently hit a glitch that has delayed its journey to the moon, but Spivak isn't worried. Even if Bearsheet fails, the Arch Foundation is already in discussions with other organizations about their upcoming space missions, including a lunar landing planned by the company Astrobotic. Spivak can only speculate about what lessons far future humans will need to relearn when they recover the libraries and what kind of crises the knowledge of the lunar library might help avert. But he sees the benefits of this project already. By placing an archive of every past and present civilization on the moon, we can now say that civilization itself is on the moon. No, we can't. He said, I want everyone to be able to look up at the moon and realize that humanity is now multiplanetary. No, it's not. This is a small shift in perspective with profound implications. Symbolically, yes, we're multiplanetary now. But that could have been said with the rovers on Mars. Yeah. We're not multiplanetary.
We are multiplanetary in terms of thought only. Until we have a permanent colony on the moon or Mars, whichever comes first will probably be the moon. And even if it's a military base that they have cycling people, I would not necessarily, but it's a permanent base, I would not necessarily say that at that point we are no longer, if we have a military base with constantly cycling personnel, we are technically multiplanetary at that point.
Yeah, I guess. I mean...
But
without colonies, what are we gonna do?
Well, there's no oil, so you know the U.S. isn't interested. Oh wait, there's oil on the moon.
Is there?
I don't know, but tell the U.S. government that.
Hey, NSA, FBI, there's oil on the moon. I swear. I promise. I seen it through the Chinese live stream of their rovers.
They're trying to keep it from us.
Yeah, trying to keep the oil from us.
You don't want those pinko commies to win, do you?
Ism.
McCarthyism.
Yeah, they're communists. I thought we were against that.
Yeah. No, it's... This is honestly a really fascinating thing. But in reality, let's be honest, the only reason we went to the moon in the first place is because of competition with the USSR. And it was a dick measuring contest. It was literally... Look at our missiles. We can reach out and touch your shit. Don't tempt us.
But now we live in a globalized economy, so now let's let the corporations wave their dicks around and see who has the biggest one.
It's just... But still, it's the competition. And it was I mean, we called it a space race for a reason. It was a fucking competition. But guess what? The new space race begins Saturday.
Woo!
That wasn't a bad transition.
Yeah, I set you up perfectly, and then he continued. Alright, anyways, go for it.
On Saturday morning, the U.S. will take a key step towards restoring its capability to launch astronauts from its own soil when a SpaceX rocket blasts off from Cape Canaveral, Florida. Why it matters? Returning launch capabilities of astronauts to U.S. soil for the first time since the Space Shuttle program ended in 2011 will mean that NASA will no longer be dependent on Russian rockets for hitching rides to the space station, at a cost of about $75 million per seat. Holy fuck. The reliance on Russian rockets has worked for NASA, but it's not an indefinite solution. The big picture. The launch at 2:48 a.m. Saturday signals a passing of the baton from government-led space missions to public-private partnerships in which billionaires like Elon Musk who founded and leads SpaceX, will share the credit for U.S. space exploration. This will be the first time a privately built spacecraft designed to carry astronauts will launch to the space station. Beginning later this year or early next, U.S. astronauts and their cargo will hitch a ride to the International Space Station on rockets built by private companies. That's interesting. So these are test flights to get equipment and supplies to the ISS.
Yeah.
But and before they actually send people up. Smart thinking.
Well, yeah. We don't want another, like, Apollo 1.
Oh, God. We don't want... No astronaut has died in space.
It's all been on return or takeoff.
Yeah.
Same thing goes with airplanes. They generally... Most crashes happen on takeoff and landing.
Yeah, once you're up in the air, you're fine.
For the most part.
Well, no, in general, that's true.
Unless goose.
Not going into too much detail, but I was during my time in the military, I actually was in aviation. I flew on the aircraft. I may not have been a pilot, but I was on the aircraft. The only time we had a major issue, it was... I think it was officially after takeoff, but it was during a climbing ascent. We had one of our hide systems in the aircraft break on us. The aircraft had 3, so it wasn't a huge issue. But it caused our it caused some malfunctions that were just not fun. We landed safely, obviously, but as long as no other situation is introduced into the system, such as firearms, explosives, or anything like that, and as long as the maintenance personnel have done their job, which they document the fuck out of maintenance, you're safer in the air than you are during takeoff and landing. But God, I tell you what, takeoff and landing were 2 of my most... takeoff primarily, and then landing was awesome because it was after a long flight. Crashes don't count as landings, Y2K. They are not official landings.
Then why is there something called a crash landing?
A crash landing is a landing that takes place where people survive. Well, most people survive, but it is officially counted as an instant. So, a prime example would be a pilot has their landing gear up, or they have one wheel that's down, but the other one's stuck up in the fuselage. They have to that any landing involving that situation would be considered a crash landing, even because it's an intentional landing, but the result is it's officially a crash.
But it's still a landing.
It's still a landing, but that's a successful landing. A crash does not count as a landing because it is a straight crash into the ground, or that it is an unintentional drop in altitude. Crash landings are intentional drops in altitude to ground level, but they are crashes because it's not a proper landing. Anyway, details.
But it's a crash, that's a landing.
I swear to
sorry,
God.
I'm done.
Continuing on. Details. During the 6-day mission, SpaceX's crew, Dragon, will attempt to dock autonomously with the ISS, thereby testing most of the capabilities of the crew transport system. The demo launch is part of NASA's long-delayed commercial crew program, under which a combined $6.8 billion in contracts has been awarded to Elon Musk's SpaceX and Boeing to launch astronauts and cargo to the ISS. The contract amounts to $4.312 billion to Boeing so far and $2.5 billion to SpaceX, according to NASA. That is interesting that Boeing has so much more, and yet apparently SpaceX is the one that's going to make it there first.
It's because Boeing does a bunch of other shit, too.
Yeah, but Boeing's a big company. They can departmentalize.
I also know some of the scientists that work at Boeing. They're goofy fucks.
Anyway. Though no one will be riding in the capsule on Saturday, it will include a dummy named Ripley, in homage to Alien, containing sensors that will allow SpaceX and NASA officials to get a better idea of what a person would be exposed to in terms of G-forces and radiation. Boeing will test its CST-100 Starliner vehicle in March. I'm going to look up a picture of that in a minute. In fact,
mine says no earlier than April.
What
Yours
is
says
up?
March? How are we looking at the same website? We have the same links. How are we getting different shit?
I opened it today, too.
I opened it today also. Well, we were setting up.
Oh, the CST-100 Starliner is just is effectively an updated teardrop capsule, the kind of re-entry device that we saw during the moon missions.
Yeah.
Interesting. But how are we looking at the same article and getting different information? This is
same
the second
that we
different
opened up at
article.
the same time.
Different article. What the fuck?
Hold on. I need to bring up this one again. Just to double check. Yeah, the last article, I just reopened it. Still says 25 stacked nickel discs.
Yeah.
Are we about to uncover a conspiracy?
Well, I just reopened this one and it says vehicles in March in both of them, so we'll see. Anyway, I'll keep reading. You refresh. This is weird, people.
Yeah. Are we?
I'm gonna keep reading. You refresh the Axios article. The test flights are steps towards certifying the safety of these companies' spacecraft before crewed test flights. Before they can but before they can launch humans into space, SpaceX and Boeing must meet strict safety requirements, including limiting the risk of loss or permanent disability of crew to at or below a 1 in 270 chance. Such a standard is more stringent than those used for NASA's shuttle program. Difficulty in meeting the loss of crew requirements, as well as design and production challenges, have led to considerable delays in commercial crew program. So much so that NASA had to consider contingency plans to maintain the ISS access in the event that... Jables, I'm not looking at that right now.
I know. Keep reading. This is something we're gonna go over after the article.
All right. In the event neither Boeing or SpaceX is ready to launch safely, the Demo 1 flight is expected to reveal some flaws in the SpaceX system in order for them to be fixed. NASA says, "We're going into this fully expecting shit will go wrong, so that at least we know what goes wrong. I fully expect we're going to learn something on this flight," he said. "I guarantee everything will not work exactly right, and that's cool. That's exactly what we want to do." Bill Gerstenmaier, the Associate Administrator for NASA's Human Spaceflight Program, during a pre-launch briefing. NASA is hedging its bets against the possibility of further delays by considering the purchase of 2 additional Soyuz seats in 2019 and 2020, Space News reports. What to watch? NASA is overseeing the certifying these companies, but is now taking on the role of supporting player. But this doesn't mean NASA will fade into the background, says Eric Stallmer, president of the Commercial Spaceflight Federation, which promotes the development of the commercial space sector. NASA is an iconic brand and is going to continue to do incredible things, Stallmer tells Axios. He says that SpaceX, Boeing, and other private spaceflight company logos may be viewed on a similar reverence in the future. We're a commercially minded nation, he said. He called it a national embarrassment that the U.S. had gone about 8 years without the ability to launch its own astronauts. What's next? An in-flight uncrewed abort test will take place after the Demo 1 mission, assuming all goes smoothly and the company meets certification requirements. Then, the first crewed SpaceX test flight to the ISS, which astronauts Bob Benkel and Doug Hurley, and Doug Hurley on board, could blast off as early as July. The Boeing timeline is proceeding at roughly the same pace as well.
Nice.
That is really
As for Krabs asking if the guys on the ISS are the safest people during an apocalypse, depends on the kind of apocalypse. Like, if you're talking super volcano like we have in the northwest of America, yeah, they'll be fine. If you're talking...
They'll be watching in horror.
A shower of asteroids, no.
It depends on what side of the planet they're on at the time.
Yeah, that also matters.
If you're talking a full technological blackout, they're fucked.
Okay. So, Rimshee, I sent you screenshots.
Yeah, I see it.
Both these articles, where they're different from...
Yeah, they're not that different. It's 25 versus 21 stacked nickel discs, and no earlier than April versus in March. Let me scroll up and check that. Yeah, vehicle in March.
Not that big of a difference, but being on the same article on the same websites that we opened up at roughly the same time, and these ones I've even refreshed. I don't know if you've refreshed your articles.
I will refresh the library one here live.
Yeah.
Once I find it.
This is weird. This should not be happening.
Where did I...
Are these articles written by robots and then they're being catered specifically towards each of us?
Maybe.
Is that why there's so many typos?
I don't know. Oh no, the mock one apparently updated because it now says 25 stacked.
Okay.
So yeah, that one was just an update. But this one is weird because we both refreshed, and this is what he's looking at. No earlier than April. And this is what I'm looking at in March. That is website. Weird.
We use the same link.
Yeah. And we both refreshed, so this should be the most recent one. The fact that it's different in where I am and different where he is weird. Anyway, we'll take a quick jaunt to our next article. We've only got about 8 minutes.
Somebody call Alex Jones.
Yeah, we've only got about 8 minutes left, but we're gonna take a look at this quick article.
Oh yeah, let's look at some cool space shit.
Yeah, close it out with cool space shit.
Breathtaking photo. Wow, it's gonna be mostly just looking at pictures. Breathtaking photo of Jupiter clouds looks like a work of art. Van Gogh, is that you? Cheesy. An image captured by NASA's Jupiter spacecraft paints a stunning picture of the planet's swirling clouds. The image, color enhanced by software engineer Kevin M. Gill, was created using data from the spacecraft's JunoCam imager. Oh, nope, it's been edited, it's been modified. No, not real pictures. The view is of a jet stream region named Jet N6 at 12:20 p.m. Eastern Time on February 12th. At the time, NASA reports Juno was about 8,000 miles from the planet's cloud tops. On Twitter, people compared the image to famous artists including Claude Monet and Jack Pollock paintings. Several users asked, "Van Gogh, is that you?" This isn't the first time we've seen an artful photo of the planet in June. NASA released an image of Jupiter's chaotic and turbulent clouds with swirling formations and several vortices in the giant planet's northern hemisphere.
And they only include 2 images, but these are really fucking cool. Like,
Yeah.
if I didn't know this was gaseous, I would actually assume that this was some sort of weird marshland.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have seen marshland images like this. I mean, it would be a lot closer than 8,000 miles, but...
But it looks cool.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Pretty.
It's absolutely stunning, and I wish I could zoom in, because that's really why we're on this article. But, I mean, this is what we're looking forward to in the space race, people. This is it.
Yeah.
Fascinating images like this, and being able to see it through plastisteel, or clear titanium, or something along those lines. You know, they actually do have a transparent aluminum, I think it is. Officially, it's considered a ceramic, but it's highly difficult to make. They are thinking about making some windows. Yeah, transparent aluminum. They are thinking about making windows to replace the viewers on the International Space Station for the observatory pod thing, because what they currently use scratch really easily.
I'm telling you, plastics.
I don't know that it's plastic. It may be plastic. It may also be very thick fucking glass. But I mean, it's.
Yeah, but I'm saying hemp plastics. They hardly scratch, but they're biodegradable too. On top of that.
Yeah, but we're talking about something we want to last, and we're talking about something that could effectively be an additional metal. It may be slightly weaker than aluminum or something. I don't know the entire basis of it, but it's basically Star Trek window technology. You could you bolt it on. You don't you don't pressure seal it the way you do glass. You pressure seal it the way you do metal.
Well, isn't it? Oh no, they do have windows in some places. It's just Okay.
Where?
Never mind. I was thinking Star Trek.
Yeah, no, Star Trek has windows.
Yeah.
Technically, I think they have. During, I think one of the first episodes of Star Trek, you actually pass through the top windows of the bridge or something, and they never use that shot again.
Huh. Are you talking about TNG, or are you talking
TNG?
Okay. I'll have to take a peek at that.
If I remember right, it's what the Orville copied when they did their introduction of the actual ship, the Orville.
I still haven't seen that show.
Watch it. Seriously, watch it.
Maybe. I'll get around to it. I'm taking like half a week off work next week. So I'll probably watch it then.
Yeah.
Anyways. Encourage this space race, because imagine it's your anniversary with your significant other. We're going to go take a peek at Jupiter in June. So why not?
Or hey, he booked a romantic weekend on the moon.
Yep. We went to Mars.
We're gonna go visit Grandma on Mars in the winter.
Yeah.
God, that's all just so cool.
What was that name of that Disney Channel original movie with the teenage girl that grew up on a space station? I don't remember. That was like 15 years ago. Anyways, I don't even think we should go into the next article because there's too much I want to talk about. We should just save it for next week.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, guys, be sure to like, share, please. Also, still trying to get to that 200 before my birthday. It's coming up.
Try and poke Chris Cortex on Twitter.
Yes, it's at the Chris Cortex.
Yeah.
Be sure to watch YouTube Saints. I don't know who the guest is this week yet.
I don't either.
Or if they're gonna have one.
Yeah, they might not. They haven't lately. I don't know. Let's check.
Might be me for all we know.
Vermin Supreme.
Wait, are you kidding?
No, I'm not.
Holy shit, Vermin Supreme is gonna be on the YouTube Saints.
Fuck yeah.
Ponies for everybody. Fuck yes. I forgot Nick was buddies with Vermin.
Yeah, Vermin Supreme. Vermin Supreme is gonna be on. Bug Chris Cortex. Watch the Locked and Loaded on Mondays.
Come back to this and leave a comment, trolling us or whatever.
Just
I don't really care.
Be bad.
I just want you guys to interact with the channel a bit more. It helps us with the algorithm. That's all it comes down to. Be sure to make fun of Sofane and Fat Pat constantly. That's all I use Twitter for.
We know. You're a horrible person.
I know. They love me. It's fine. They follow me. It's okay. When they unfollow me, that's when I'll start getting weird.
Start?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, watch the midweek. Watch the main show on Fridays. Tune into Gator stuff that he does. I don't know what times he does it, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
He's on Twitch,
After
though.
show might be back. Yeah. It's Caligator TV. Twitch. On Twitch. And there, I don't know if he's going to do an after show tonight or not, but he's been seeming like he wants to get back into that. But
So,
that's for everybody.
Let's go over the list real quick. Check us back next Friday, same time. Check out the...
Like, subscribe, share.
Like, subscribe, share. Check out Chris Cortex, because he brought something to our attention, indirectly. Check out Locked and Loaded on Mondays. There wasn't one this Monday. I don't know what that was about.
It's on Twitter. They're having some issues. They might be changing their dates.
Gotcha.
So
dates may change. Keep that in mind. Check out the midweek, and if click the bell, because who knows, Jables might put on some random "I want to talk about something" stream.
yeah, well, I'm planning on doing like a Google Hangout like once or twice a month, because that's roughly how often I come across a subject that I want to talk about.
Anyway, everyone, have a good night. Enjoy the YouTube Saints, and ponies for everyone.
Vote Vermin Supreme 2020.